In this video, we're going to be talking about XPENG. This is an update video for XPENG, and just to give you a state of the union, what's going on with them. Current stock price is around $28.74 as of the recording of this video. We've been trading a little flat, if not down, as of recent with the last 5 to 7 days, give or take. But the entire section is down. Tesla's down, NIO's down. The overall EV space is down. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover kind of what's going on with the stock, look at the chart real quickly, look at a piece of information that talks about kind of looking forward in the future, the prospects, looking at the manufacturing capabilities that China is putting into place related to infrastructure, manufacturing, specific moves that XPENG is making. We'll also look at and make a stock prediction of what XPENG will be trading for within 12 months, as well as we can discuss what it is after that. I am extremely bullish on XPENG, and I am definitely long on these guys. I do own the stock and frankly looking to add a little bit more because I'm looking at this long term. It's not a lot of fun right now because, again, we're trading a little bit down overall, but the entire sector is down right now. And so, yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover. So my name is Austin Hilton. If you're new here, I'm a 30-plus year investor, and I cover all major stocks, especially in the EV sector, NIO, XPENG, etc. I do a lot of other things. I have stock tip videos, things like that, the occasional penny stock video. I even do a ton of crypto coverage as well. So if crypto is something you're even remotely thinking about, you want to be kept up to date on what is going on with some of the major cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin, things like that, then consider subscribing and liking and become part of the community. Would love to have you here because that's what I'm doing is I'm building a community here on my YouTube channel where we all can support each other, keep you updated, because my goal is to help you make more money in the stock market to tomorrow than you are today, and just to help you do better. That's what I really care about. So with all that said, let's go take a look at what's going on with XPENG and go from there. Here we go. As I mentioned, we're currently trading today at $28.74. We're down, barely down, really flat today. Nasdaq's down about up about 83 points. If we look at a 5-day, we definitely got a downward trending analysis. I tend to look at the 6-month because that really gives me an overall better feel, kind of long term. And you can see that we're absolutely kind of just moving down just a little bit, like from April 16th to May 5th. So in the last, 3 weeks, we're really only down 7%. And we've had some pretty major red days overall in the market conditions on the Dow, NASDAQ, etc. So, I consider that to be a good thing. I think we've got, again, we've got money moving in and out of EV. There's just been some overall market condition scenarios that I think they've been putting some downward pressure on it. Overall, though, I think that the prospects look good for XPENG as far as long term. And before we get into the price prediction of what I think it's going to be for in the next 12 months, I want to real quickly show you something. I do this in all my EV videos. I want to show you on this chart 6 months, add in NIO and add in Tesla, and what you'll see is a trend, right? You'll see absolutely a trend as far as all of the trend lines and the charts are kind of following each other. The dark blue line here on the bottom is XPENG. The kind of orangish, yellowish line is NIO, and the aqua green on the very top is Tesla. Especially XPENG and NIO, they absolutely just follow each other. I call it shadowing. They're shadowing each other just right there, just working, just lockstep with each other. When one of them is up, the other one is up, and when one of them is down, the other one is pretty much down. Tesla overall is following very similar lines. This is absolutely something we see here in the EV sector is these kind of similar, again, shadowing scenarios where the stocks are just kind of overall doing almost the exact same thing. And you can see XPENG is down 19% in the last 6 months. So not bad if you think about it that way. What are we down in the last month? Let's take a look. We're down 20% in the last month. So a lot of that is again in the last month, give or take. So overall, I mean, it's one of those things where it depends on what kind of investor you are. Are you a long-term investor looking out long-term, 12 months plus? If so, this is really not a big deal. You're just kind of sitting and holding and writing. That's how I am. That's what I'm doing. And you're just kind of, it is what it is, and we'll get through this. If we want to look at real quickly what Tip Ranks is forecasting. I think this is about a $50 to $55 stock, if not higher, inside of 6 months to a year, depending upon kind of what we've got with kind of overall market conditions. But at 48.68, that represents almost a 70% upside, is what the analysts are saying. We've got 6 analysts all recommending buys. Again, that's a May 2021 to a May 2022 scenario. I'll scroll down so you can see the individual analysts and what they're rating it. You can pause the video if you want and check these out. I'm not going to go too much in depth in these, but you can see kind of these are overall what the analysts ratings are, reiterations, things of that nature, time frames, all that kind of stuff. If you the thoughts around analysts tend to be very, very divided. I think there's people who just live and die by them, and there's people who just don't even really care about them. I view it and bring it here only as a data point, only as something that I want you to be aware of, and just kind of want you to know, hey, this is kind of what they're thinking, just as my view, just for me bringing you the information, right? That's how I see it. I want you to be aware that this is kind of what the analysts are saying. So it is in line with my expectations. I'm a little higher. I think we're at $50, $55 inside of a year, give or take, and that's my goal, or that's my view. And after that, I think it could be $100 to plus dollars. I mean, if you look at the overall market conditions, which is a really good segue into this article, this piece of news, there's a couple things that I got out of this, is that the United States wants to be a completely EV-based, they want us all to be driving EV cars within 15 years. Do I think we'll get there? I don't know about that. And I'm not slamming EV. That's not my point. I'm just saying overall, they want in 15 years for 100% of the cars to be sold to be EV. Whereas I know that by 2025 in the United States, only 10% of every car sold. So out of every 100 cars sold, it'll be 10% will be EV in 5 years. Actually, 4 years. Excuse me. By 2025, right now, it's only 2 out of every 100 cars sold in the United States are EV. And Tesla obviously makes up about 80% of that 2% sold in the United States, right? Now, China is dramatically ahead of us in the curve, and that helps us in the capacity as being XPENG investors. Is that, China is building out the infrastructure. China, has already built out a tremendous amount of the infrastructure. The XPENG and NEO, they're building factories. They're moving into Europe, all that kind of stuff. And so I think that, like right now, XPENG is recently opened a large plant in China, is building a machining factory nearby. It's building a third, okay? China is erecting factories for electric cars almost as fast as the rest of the world combined. So they are absolutely going whole, pushing all their chips into the middle of the table, China is, and facilitating this move to EV, which, again, bodes very well for us as investors. I thought this was a great picture of one of their factories. Bodes very, very well. That's what XPENG's factory, highly automated factory in Zhongkong. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Sorry. China, a robot lifted tinted glass for attachment to a car. It's pretty cool. All right, so that's actually pretty cool. There's the tinted glass. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, China is just absolutely doing that. So again, that's cool with me, right? I mean, I wish that the United States was further down the road as it relates to their EV journey, but they are coming online. They're absolutely coming as well, okay? So the Chinese industry has momentum. We mentioned that. They'll be making over 8 million electric cars by 2028. Compared with 1 million last year. Europe is on track to make 5.7 million by then as well. Okay, North America, we're on track to build 1.4 million by 2028. So what was that? So China's making 8 million by 2028, and we're making 1.4. So almost 7-8 times more China's doing than the United States. I'm not saying that in a bad way, so please don't hate on me. Don't dislike the video because I said that. I'm just giving you the information. I wish that we were a little bit further down the road. This is a great graphic right here, by the way. This shows annual production of electric cars, and so this kind of dark brown right here is China. Okay, so you can see that they make up the bulk of the chart. The next bar here is Europe. Okay. The next one is North America, and the next one is the rest of the world. So you can see China is dramatically to a much higher magnitude producing electric cars, and Europe is second, and then North America. I would say, and I don't know if any YouTubers mentioned this recently, I mean, China for decades was kind of the country that had major pollution. I had friends that had been to Beijing back around the Olympics. They said you literally couldn't breathe there because the pollution was so bad and things like that. So I think that they've done a complete would be a complete 180 degree turn, or 360, whatever you want to do, 180, and they're absolutely, that's I think one of the main reasons they're moving into EV. I think they want to be the global leader in EV, and I mean, we've got to get moving to catch up with them as far as the United States. And by the way, you know that XPENG and NIO, they're coming to the Americans. They're coming to America, to the United States, to North America, Canada, etc. at some point in the near future. They're going from China. Both of them are moving into Norway first, and then they're moving into the rest of Europe in the not too distant future as well. Okay, which makes sense because look, Europe has a much higher adoption rate than say North America, etc. All right, so I thought that was of interest to you. China has also definitely invested in their infrastructure with a nationwide rollout of over 800,000 public charging stations. And again, I'm not saying this in the context of how delayed we are in the United States. I'm only using it as a point in illustration. At being an XPENG investor, I like this. I like this that they're doing this. I like that this is happening. I just wish we here in the United States were further down the road, etc. Okay, so it's almost twice as many as the rest of the world. All the drivers in the United States who are more likely to live in single-family homes we can plug our cars home in the car. But we still need that infrastructure here in the United States to be able to drive more than the 200 to 250, 300 miles that you can on a given charge, depending on which car you have. Things like that. Remember, I mentioned this earlier. Automakers like GM plan to eliminate gasoline and diesel engines entirely in the next 15 years. I don't know if I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if I believe that yet. Here's what I really mean by that. I think you've got millions and millions and millions of drivers in the United States that are going to be hard pressed to give up the cars that they love and the trucks that they love and all those kind of things. I know that Ford is going to be coming out with an EV version of the F-150, the most popular truck in the United States, etc. I'm talking about kind of culturally, and that has yet to be seen. I mean, from the worldwide pollution standpoint, I would love to see it. I kind of want to wait and see how that all plays out, right? Okay. Alibaba's getting into the EV car market. They've launched a venture called IM Motors. So I'm going to end on that note from the standpoint of talking about competition. Competition in China is absolutely heating up. There are multiple vendors and additional people like Alibaba moving in with IM Motors, things like that. Warren Buffett's deal, his company that he's invested heavily in, moving in. Tesla trying to continue to take even more. I think you'll continue to see XPENG and NIO make moves to expand their footprint outside of China. Like, again, we talked about already Norway/Europe, then obviously into North America, all that kind of stuff. I think we'll see those situations continue to evolve where all these competitors continue to kind of get in each other's proverbial backyards and continue to see that all play out. So with all that said, I'm going to end on that note. My final thoughts is that, again, I'm extremely long and very bullish on XPENG. I definitely think at these points, at these price levels, depending upon what type of an investor you are, if you're a long-term holder, these are buying opportunities. If you're a short-term trader, this is probably driving you nuts. I get it. And so I realized that, hey, the stock's really been kind of, let's take it's been flat. We've been in this sideways pattern for a while, and sideways / a little bit down pattern for quite some time. It would be nice to break out of this. It'd be nice to get some movement. I think our next critical level to kind of get back to is that $30, approximately that $30 to $30 and then $35 is kind of our next resistance level. We can get through those. We can continue to move up. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, consider subscribing. If you haven't already done so, hit that bell notification to become part of the community. I really care about you. I want to help you make more money, keep you updated on what's going on. Drop a like on the video if you got any type of value. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Bye.